Hey kitschy cats and kittens, my name is Erica. Welcome to my studio. Today we are making a Patriotic Peekaboo water bottle. I'm making something patriotic to remind my US friends to register to vote if you haven't already, or if you've recently moved, you'll need to re-register, or you can check to make sure your voter registration is current. The most patriotic thing you can do is exercise your right to vote in our democracy. It's super important, so make sure your voice gets heard. I'm starting out with a 25-ounce water bottle from Stainless Depot, and I'm using the UV resin method to apply my glitter. I am using chunky and fine holographic glitter, and I started out with the chunky, sprinkled it around, and I thought, well, I'll just fill in with the fine glitter. And it definitely did that, but it also kind of masked the chunky. So if you want, you can totally skip that part and just go straight to the fine glitter. After this is all done, I'm going to go ahead and leave it on my turner and set up my UV lamp from Let's Resin to cure this. I let it go for about 10 minutes total. Super sparkly. And you want to make sure you seal it. Metallic glitter likes to repel resin, so you have to seal it super well. You can either use the gloss varnish like I did, you can use like a Rust-Oleum clear coat, whatever you want to use, just make sure you do it very well and give it time to dry. I'm going in with my first coat of epoxy to cover the glitter. And I used about 30 milliliters total. It's a medium viscosity 1-to-1 resin. And I'm gonna let that spin for about 6 to 8 hours. The curing time really depends on how warm or cool your room is, how humid it is, things like that. And you wanna make sure you cover it really well with that resin. Don't be stingy with it. We want to make it nice and smooth. And here I am, popping bubbles. Okay, so for whatever reason, I can't find the footage of myself putting these star stencils on and then spray painting. So sorry about that, but you can see where I put the stencils, and what I do is I'm adding some hot glue to them just so I can find them underneath all the glitter we're going to put on top. They can be really hard to find under glitter. Once again, I'm using the UV resin method. You can use regular resin, totally fine. Entirely up to you. I'm using this really pretty royal blue glitter. I got it at Michael's. And I'm using a red that has a little bit of white mixed in from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's Lobster, and that actually came from a special bundle of Friends vinyl and Friends themed glitters. I don't know if they have it available still, but you can just use a plain red too. So you want to make sure you get some good coverage, and you'll want to do your best to make sure it doesn't get into the other areas. I'm not trying to make a gradient or an ombre with this. I'm just doing stripes. If a little gets over, that's totally fine, but you don't need to make sure that you're blending it into the other colors. And I always go from darkest to lightest. I try to minimize the amount that my darker glitters will contaminate the white parts of the cup. And the easiest way to do that is to make sure that I do them first. And this is a super fun mix of glitter I got from Mr. Nola's Supply Co. I don't think they have it at this time, but it's just red, white, and blue dots. Little patriotic mix. I thought it'd be really cute on this tumbler. I do wish the blue had matched the royal blue a bit better, but I still like it. And I'm filling in with a fine white. It does have a bit of a color shift, so I would say it's a little bit iridescent, but a fine white glitter. The dots are really chunky, so you don't want to overload the cup with them, otherwise you'll have a really hard time getting it smooth. And I'm going in with my second coat of glitter just to be on the safe side and make sure I have everything covered. Again, being careful not to get the blue or the red into the white area. All right, and now is the best part, in my opinion, pulling up those stencils. So I did do this before I cured the resin. You don't want to cure the resin with the stencils on there because you're gonna have a heck of a time getting those off. So I do go through and do it before I cure. It can be a little bit messy. So there are some areas where I had to kind of push some glitter out of the star shape, but for the most part it was just fine. Watching Peekaboo stencils be pulled off of a tumbler has got to be one of the most satisfying things to watch. You can see it can still be a little bit of a bear trying to get those stencils off even without the resin cured. And I'm going in with the first of 2 coats of epoxy here. So it did take 2 coats to get it nice and smooth because of all of the dots, how chunky they are, and the rest of the glitter. So I go in with an initial. The second time I do the epoxy, I used about 15. And I went ahead and made corresponding outlines for the stars out of red, silver, and blue holographic vinyl. It's not as easy to get these lined up as you would think it is. They're not perfect, but this is just for me, so I was okay with that. It's my first Peekaboo I've ever made, so I was pretty proud of this. And I did do a little bit of fidgeting around with it, trying to get it to go into the right spots and whatnot. But it wasn't hard to do. And here it is, all done. I love this water bottle. It is so fun. I had a really good time toting this around for 4th of July. I did make it a while ago, but it's super important to show right now. Make sure you register to vote. Make sure you check your registration to make sure you are properly registered. And don't forget to go out November 5th, my US friends, and make a difference and make your voice heard. I hope you guys like this as much as I like it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, my kitschy cats and kittens, and I'll see you soon.